Shalom l'kol hayiladim hayikarim shel kilatenu Shivtei Yisrael. To all the beautiful children of Shivtei, it is so good to see you again. I want to share with you a story about the Parsha, as well as 3 questions on the Parsha. And if you know the answer to these questions, you can come to me in shul during Kabbalat Shabbat at night, or in the morning during Shacharit or Musaf. And if you answer the questions correctly, I will give you a special prize. So I look forward to seeing you on Shabbat with the answers to these questions. Let's talk about the parasha first. Parashat Toldot. We meet Yaakov and Esav. And we, of course, know that Am Yisrael, we are named after Yaakov. Yaakov is one of Avinu Yaakov. We're also called Yisrael because he had a second name, Yisrael, B'nai Yisrael. And then there's Esav. And Esav he's not such a great fellow, but he excelled in one mitzvah, in kibud avaim. And we could learn from Esav about the importance of listening to our parents, honoring our parents, respecting our parents. They ask us to do something, we should listen. We should follow. We should help out in the house. We should help to prepare for Shabbat, all in order to perform the mitzvah of kibud avaim, listening to our Abba and to our Ima as well. I want to share with you a special story about Rav Eliyahu Pardes. He was a rabbi who lived over 100 years ago in Yerushalayim, in the Ir Hatikah. Rav Eliyahu Pardes was the principal of a girls' school. That means that he was the head of the entire girls' school in the Ir Hatikah. But every day, Rav Eliyahu Pardes, before going to school, he would go to visit his father, his Abba, who was old and sick, and he would go to spend time with him and talk with him and make sure that he had food and drink and everything that he needed. Now, one day, a very special and important guest was coming to visit Rav Eliyahu Pardes' school. And this guest was someone by the name of Sir Herbert Samuel. Maybe you've heard the name. He was the High Commissioner of the British Mandate. He was the most important leader of in what was called Palestine at the time, over 100 years ago. Before we built Medinat Yisrael, the British actually controlled Eretz Yisrael, and the leader of the British at the time was Sir Herbert Samuel. And he was coming to visit the school, a very important guest, and all the girls were lined up. And Rav Eliyahu Pardes was so excited. The school was cleaned, and everyone was ready for this great visitor. Now, what happened is that they were looking down the street, waiting for the High Commissioner to come, and Rav Eliyahu Pardes sees his father walking down the street. And he didn't know where he was going. He looked lost. Rav Eliyahu Pardes realized, oh my God, I forgot to visit my father this morning. What do I do? And he sees the British commissioner coming from one way down the road, and he sees his father the other way. He decides to go to his father, and his father says, son, I hope that everything's okay. I didn't see you this morning. You didn't come to visit me. So Rav Eliyahu Pardes takes his father and walks him back home and spends time with him to make sure that he's okay. What happens in the meantime? The High Commissioner comes to the school. He sees the school. He's given a tour, and he says, but where's the principal? Where's Rav Eliyahu? And the other teachers in the school told Herbert Samuel that the principal, Rav Eliyahu, went to take care of his father because his father is old and not well. A few minutes later, Rav Eliyahu Pardes comes back to the school, and he meets Sir Herbert Samuel, and Sir Herbert Samuel says, where were you? And he said, I went to take care of my father. I hope that you were not offended by my absence because I wasn't here. And how did the High Commissioner respond? He responded, wow, Baruch Hashem, this is so wonderful that you took care of your father, and you modeled for your Talmidot the importance of kibud avaim. It's so important, this mitzvah of taking care of one's parents. So that's the story of Rav Eliyahu Pardes and the British High Commissioner, Sir Herbert Samuel. You could ask your parents if you know who he is. It's possible they've eaten at a restaurant named after him in Herzliya. But that's the story. And now for 3 questions that I want to ask you. Question number 1, why were Esav and Yaakov named by their names? Why is Esav called Esav? And why is Yaakov called Yaakov? Question number 2, what is Esav's nickname? He had a special nickname. What was it? And why did he receive this nickname? And question number 3, this is a harder question. Yitzchak Avinu digs many wells in Eretz Yisrael. How many wells does he dig in this parasha? How many wells? I want you to tell me the number. Wishing you all an amazing, exciting, beautiful Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom Lekulam. And I look forward to seeing you on Shabbat.